Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Darksburg. And Darksburg is a co-op roguelike zombie game that just came out of early access that plays very similar to MOBAs like Dota or League of Legends or games like Diablo, and at its core it's actually a lot of fun to play, but it does have a pretty bad content problem. So in Darksburg you select one of 5 different characters that all have different abilities and ultimates, and along with 3 other friends get put into the game. And each area you are going from point A to point B, killing waves of zombies and other quirky enemies, while sometimes having to stop and complete an objective like killing guards or blowing up a wall. And the core gameplay in itself is honestly super satisfying and fun. It feels exactly like what you would expect a MOBA or action RPG to feel like, and it's super satisfying using all the different abilities your character has to kill hundreds of zombies. Every now and then your team will level up and it'll offer you a choice of 3 different random upgrades to your character. And there doesn't seem to be an insane amount of variety with these, but there is enough where if you play the same character in different runs, you won't feel exactly the same because your abilities work slightly different depending on what upgrades you have. And sometimes there will be chests throughout the map that can contain gold for shops in-game, kind of a purple currency which I'll talk about in a little bit, some random healing items, and sometimes like a piece of equipment like boots or stun or frag grenades or like a buffing flag, and you can have one at a time and you can just use it on cooldown. And when you finish a level, you all move on to the next level and your health and character carry over. And there's a campfire that allows you to heal a tiny bit if you're below 33% health, and there's a shop that you can use your gold to buy different healing items, and then there is also a chest where you can use the purple currency you find in runs to unlock random different passive perks. So you can slowly unlock a couple new perk slots for the different tiers, and as you randomly unlock new perks, you can mix and match and try to get a good build going. And I actually like this progression because it's a kind of a cool way to just constantly unlock new random abilities that you keep across runs, and you'll slowly kind of find good builds, and I really like this part of the game. And so you keep fighting across 3 levels and then you go on to a boss fight. And all of this is super fun and exciting, especially when playing with friends because everyone has different strengths and weaknesses and playstyles, so it's honestly a blast to play, but the problem arises when you beat the game. When you beat the game, you unlock Ascension mode, which like any other roguelike makes the game a little bit harder. So the first Ascension level makes it where when you play, your team has a random curse for the game. So ours made us take damage if we weren't dealing damage after a little bit. Now the problem is that you just play the exact same game over again, but with that one change. And yes, the abilities you get for your character are a little bit different, and yes, the layout of enemies and chests and rooms are slightly different, but you're still just going from point A to point B on the same 3 levels and then fighting the exact same boss. And when you do that, you unlock Ascension Level 2, that makes all elites have more damage reduction, but guess what? It's almost the exact same game. And so yes, you do have the purple currency that allows you to slowly obtain new perks, and there's this chicken on like every level that if you kill it, it gives you 1 chicken, and you can, kind of spend that on some boring looking skins with 50 of them. So after you play the game over and over and over and over again, after about 10 hours, you'll have saved up enough chicken to buy a single skin. And then obviously you have the motivation to complete the Ascension levels, but my entire friend group I was playing with lost motivation after about 2 hours of playing after we beat the game twice. And so overall, I'm just really conflicted with this game. The core gameplay of Darksburg is a ton of fun, and I absolutely love the concept of a zombie action RPG co-op roguelike hybrid. It's super unique, and honestly, it's executed well in the gameplay department. It's just there's not a lot of content in the game. The game supposedly just came out of early access, yet it feels like it just got into early access. The game needs like 10 more levels to mix and match in runs with more enemy variety. It needs 4 more bosses, maybe a better loot system like in Diablo that allows you to find different gear and better weapons as well, because as it stands right now, I honestly don't think the game is worth it. At launch, it's on sale for $10, and I think for that price, okay, maybe, getting 2 to 4 hours of gameplay is worth it because it is unique and fun, the first couple of times, but, originally the game's going to be $20 after this, launch sale, and for that price, I really wouldn't recommend the game. game unless you just think, after listening to this whole thing, if you think this, game is immensely fun and you want to play it for 100 hours, obviously this might be for you, but for the everyday, average roguelike fan, I don't think it's going to be worth it unless more content gets added. If I could ever just give a game, not like a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but just kind of like a thumb in the side, I would do it here because, man, the game is so fun to play at its core. It's just, there's no reason to play after a couple of hours. But if you have played Darksburg or just from watching gameplay, I would love to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I love having conversations with you all. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make about 2 to 3 game reviews on a wide variety of game genres, but most of them just end up being roguelikes or roguelites because apparently I'm a roguelike reviewer. So if you want to see my thoughts on upcoming roguelites and roguelikes, subscribe and ring that bell like all the big boy YouTubers say. Also, if you can't get enough of me, I have a podcast called Media Crash, where every episode we talk about a different genre of games or TV or movies, and the last episode we talked about was reality shows, so give that a watch if it interests you at all. And if you do decide to get Darksburg and you're going to be grinding those cosmetics out over 20-30 hours, I wish you luck, and see you guys next time.